So I finally got these prepped and ready to install on the truck. I'm so excited because I've been wanting to do this for a very, very long time. Just a quick thing, finding the rivets to go on the rear bumper was quite a pain. I got them on Amazon, but I don't even know how I found it on Amazon. They were like pretty tricky to find. So I'll put the link in the description if you're wanting to replace the rivets and get like a factory OEM look. So today I'll be installing these bad boys in the back of the truck, rid of that chrome bumper look, and to make it more of a type of, I don't know, for me it's gonna be more of a cleaner type of look, but with a little bit of aggressiveness to it. Can't wait to install these and see how they look. What I'm gonna do is prep these bumper end caps. I'll probably just go over with 180 grit. Probably have to add a little bit of bondo here because you could probably see there's a dent right here that I'll probably go with 80 grit here, sand around this area with 80 grit, and then put a little bit of bondo and then go over it with probably lightly 80 grit and then feather etch it with 300 or 180 grit sandpaper. So let's get started with this. Okay, so I went over everything with 180 grit sandpaper, wet sanding it. And now for the spot that has a dent, I went over it with a 80 grit sandpaper. And then now I'm gonna put a little bit of bondo over it. I'll show you guys how to do that real fast. This is the first time I've ever put bondo on anything, but I got this stuff. It's something that you can get from like Advanced Auto Parts or O'Reilly's or whatever. Comes with a spreader, a metal body patch, which I won't be needing, and the hardener. I just grab a little bit of bondo and I'm gonna put it on one of these clean sheets. It's best to use one of these sheets rather than, let's say, cardboard, because cardboard is not necessarily the best clean surface to put bondo on to mix it with. So I've had these clean sheets laying around for a while, so might as well put it to good use. Now that you have a little bit of a glob, you just add some hardener. You're only gonna put a little bit of hardener, not a lot. I'd say for this much, like very, very small amount, like that's probably too much, but about that much hardener. And then you're going to use a spreader and basically keep on mixing it until you get a consistent pinkish color. And what I like to do is like scrape it and then just layer it kind of one on top of each other. You can already see it forming to that consistent pinkish color, and that's what you want. First thing you're gonna want to do is get a little bit and then put it at the part you're gonna apply it to. Now make sure that your surface is clean before you put the stuff on there. I made sure to use wax and grease remover before I applied this. But basically, not only you're gonna put it on the main area of where you want to fill, but you're also going to coat a little bit around the area as well, so you have a nice way to feather it out when you're sanding. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let this sit probably for about 40 minutes to an hour until it hardens.
1 hour later.
This is finally dried now, so what I'm gonna do is start sanding, and probably gonna go with 180 grit to start off with first and go from there. But I think 180 grit will just be able to get this nice and smooth. We'll find out. Alright guys, everything is prepped and ready to go. The only thing I gotta do now is mix the paint. Pretty easy process. I've covered it in the other videos, but I will show you a quick process of how this is. It's basically fill, shake, shoot. That's all it is. You fill it with some hardener, you shake it up, and then you begin spraying. Now, before I forget, before I lay down the Raptor U-Pol Bedliner, we're gonna do the same thing as what we did on the grill and on the front bumper. And that is first spray adhesion promoter. And then from that, what we're gonna do is a self-etching primer. So I'm gonna do 1 coat of adhesion promoter and then probably 2 coats of self-etching primer. So let's start off with the self-adhesion promoter. Now it's time to apply 2 coats of black etching primer. You can normally get like the gray primer from the stores. I like to get the black one just because if it were to like ding up or something, at least underneath it will be a black primer, so that hopefully you won't be seeing any like chrome or anything in the bottom of it. So that's why I choose black, but gray will work just as great. So 2 coats of black etching primer, and then finally we'll go on to the Raptor U-Pol Bedliner. now that I've already applied the self-etching primer to all the parts, now it's finally that time to actually apply the Raptor U-Pol Bedliner. I'm pretty excited. The process is the same as how I do the grill and everything else, but basically I'm gonna adjust the air pressure to 40 psi, and then I'm gonna be mixing the Raptor hardener with the actual product itself, shake it up thoroughly, and then yeah, then it's time to shoot. I'll probably shoot on like some cardboard just to get a test run on it, and then yeah, finally time to shoot these things. I'm really impressed. You can't even see the bondo job that I did right there. It's completely covered. It's gone. It's gone. Final coat is going to consist of the same process. It's going to have the Raptor liner. You add your hardener, you mix it up. I'm going to add the Raptor traction, make it slip resistant, and add a nice, more rough texture finish. At least that's what I'm going for. The whole bag of cocaine in this, the whole bag of
Hijo de la chingada, man, where'd you get that?
Sorry. The whole bag of traction into here, and I will have the roughest texture I can possibly get out of this product. Okay, so like I mentioned before, same process as earlier, except for the only difference is after you get done shaking this, you're gonna add a bag of this. So let's get to it. Okay, so now that I have everything painted on the rear bumper, what I'm gonna go ahead and do is install everything back. Normally, anytime I remove any trim pieces, I'll thoroughly clean it before I install it, but since I'm kind of running out of some daylight under here, I'm kind of like rushing on some things, so I will clean it, put some applicator on it to try and restore this black plastic, and I'll probably make a video for that because that's a whole process in itself. The only issue that I had in putting this or taking this off was actually this little cutout hole right here for the lock. I don't know, I guess I'm gonna have to figure it out and install it back in. Hopefully everything will go smoothly and I don't have to break anything. my God. That was a okay, hard part's done. Now we can just bolt the rest. These clip on here in the back. All we got left to do is some bolts underneath here, and then we can actually install the rear bumper end caps. That is a wrap, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed this type of content. I have some big plans coming up in the future. I think it turned out looking great. I like the looks of it. For some reason, I've had issues with that chrome in the past where you get surface rust, especially living in a place like Kansas. So I'm really just excited to just be done with it completely so it can be more maintenance free, because this truck is a workhorse of a truck. It gets me to point A to point B. It's not a show truck, none of that. I just want it to be convenient while looking really clean at the same time. So if you enjoy this content, please give me a like, leave me a comment, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.